All right, so now we're talking about exterior angles of triangles. So what that means is, doesn't mean all the exterior angles. It means we have a triangle and one of the sides is extended. So like, you know, like on the previous one, which of course I can't find, but like previously we talked about triangles and they looked like this, right? All we saw was the triangle and we had the angles inside. Now we're going to take one of those ends and we're going to extend it so that we have an exterior angle. All right, so here's a couple things that we know. First of all, I know this is a weird looking triangle. I know you want to see it like this, but you always see it like this, so I want you to see something a little something special, all right? I labeled this guy out here E. I labeled these two R. So let's think about this, all right? So as a child, I didn't understand this. Before I had a child, I did not understand this. So I want you to know someday you will understand what I'm about to tell you, all right? When I was a child, my father used to ask me to get the remote. And I'd be like, dude, why do I got to get the remote? But I'm not about to tell my dad no. So I would get up and get him the remote. And the reason for that is because now as a parent, I'm always having my child to get the remote. And then I know this because when I'm sitting on the couch, I don't want to get up and walk all the way over to the TV. Now, if the TV was right here, I'm not going to be like, and put the remote right up to it and like change the channel. The remote is for doing something from far away, okay? It's not for doing from something up close. So I would get I would have the remote and I use the remote to change the channel when the TV's far away. I don't use it on something right next to me, okay? So this is my exterior angle. There's 3 angles in a triangle. One of them is right next to that exterior angle and the other 2 are far away. And so we call those 2 angles remote because they're far away, like the TV is when you use the remote, okay? So we have our external angle and we have our remote angles. And technically they're called remote interior angles, but look, they're remote. They're far away. Remote, distant, far away from me. I have to use the remote to get to them because I'm too lazy to get up. All right, so here's what you want to know about that. Okay, so let's draw different. Well, you know what? Let's draw a slightly different triangle because I'm feeling fancy. Okay, so here's my exterior angle. All right, this guy next to it, it's called adjacent because they share a wall, but we're not going to worry about that. Which ones are far away? Well, this guy is remote and this guy is remote. So here's what you need to know. If I add up these 2 angles, they're going to equal this one. Let me show you. Let me prove it to you. Okay? So let's pretend, and again, I'm just going to I'm going to give you crazy angles because who cares, right? Here's a triangle with an exterior angle. So let's say this angle is 126. Wow, that's not really, whatever. Okay, and then let's say this one is 32. All right? And I want to know what this one is, what this guy is. Actually, I could find all the angles in this triangle with this information. This is all the information I need to know to find every angle in this triangle, okay? And that's not this video, but I also know that these 2 videos, because they're on a straight line, these 2 angles add up to 180. So I could figure out what this one is and add them up. Or I know, because we just talked about this, because I just told you, spoiler alert, I just told you that this plus that equal that. Okay? So I know that something plus 32 equals 126. Well, how am I going to work backwards? I'm going to subtract 32. Okay, well, my trusty calculator. 126 minus 32 is 94. That means this angle has to be 94 degrees. Okay? That's just how it works. Okay, that's it. That's literally it. Now, here's the only thing that you guys are going to mess up. So I'm going to show you 2 triangles. And I'm going to show you what happens. Okay, so look, let's say I'm going to draw them, you know, in our typical exterior angle diagram layout. Okay, so you might get something like this. Okay, that's crazy, but whatever. okay? So when I see something like this, all right, and again, just for those of you like truth tellers out there, I know that this isn't what this triangle would look like, but in geometry we don't care about that. We just care what the numbers say. But it's super inaccurate, and I'm really sorry about that. Okay, so if I looked at this one, okay, remember, I'm going to add them together to find the exterior angle. Now, what I'm noticing is when I look at my answers my kids get, they say that the missing angle is 90 for both of these, because they're like, oh, I just add these up, right? So I just add the numbers, right? No, because we're not in the 3rd grade anymore. We don't just add the numbers. It doesn't work like that, okay? We gotta think before we add the numbers, okay? So this, the plus signs between them. So yeah, the missing angle is 90. Is the plus sign between these two numbers? No. So to work backwards, I don't know what I just did that. I don't know why I did that. But the missing number is 30 this time. So to work backwards, I have to subtract. So if I have both of the remote angles, I add them up to find the exterior. If I only have one of them, I got to subtract. Now let's just be honest. I know some of y'all still just going to add all the numbers. But I urge you to join me in the 8th grade, where we have to think about it before we do it. Okay? So again, let's just for the heck of it, try one more. And yeah, my stuff's going to be crazy looking. It is what it is. So let's say I've got 126, and then I've got 14. And let's just say I've got 126 and 14 here. Okay? Same numbers, just rearranged. Okay? And I'm not saying that these two triangles are the same. They're not, clearly. Okay? So when I do my thinking, right, because I'm an 8th grader, not a 3rd grader. Not that 3rd graders don't think. But they don't think about this. Okay? I'm looking for this angle, right? 14 plus something equals 126. I don't know what the something is, so I'm going to say 126 minus 14 to find it out. That means this is 112. 124 plus 16 equals the mystery angle. Well, then I'm going to do 124 plus 16. And I get 140, which means the missing angle is 140. Okay? So, the secret sauce to getting these triangle questions right is, first of all, you got to make sure that you label your angles right. So again, if they give me the angle right here, this isn't going to work. Okay? It has to be my two remote angles, the two that are far away. All right? But I have to think. The secret sauce is thinking about it. Do I have two in the circle together, or do I have them in different places? If they're not in the circle together, I have to do exterior, outside minus inside. If they're in the circle together, I add them up to find the exterior. All right? Did I write that wrong? Okay, it should be 126 and 14. And I have no explanation for why I wrote that, but whatever. My compadre here caught it. So anyway, yes. That is all I have to say. I'm going to stop now while I'm ahead.